One of the most important lessons we can learn from the book of Romans is in chapter 14, and actually summed up in one verse.
Romans 14:12. So then each of us will give account of ourselves to God. It doesn't say that we report back to God about what others do, say, or how they live their lives. It clearly states that we must take accountability for ourselves.
We are reminded about the power and tolerance and acceptance. It teaches us that we should not judge others for their beliefs or actions, but rather embrace and respect our differences. We live in a world where it is easy to pass judgment and criticize those who do not agree with us. But the truth is, each of us have our own unique perspective and experience that shapes our beliefs and guides our relationship with God.
As we navigate through life, we must remember that it takes strength and courage to listen and understand someone who has different views than us. It's not weak to show tolerance, but rather a sign of true strength. The message of Romans 14 is actually simple. It's love and respect one another, even in our differences. This not only leads to a more peaceful coexistence, but it also brings us closer to our shared goal of unity. God calls us to love our enemies, to love our neighbors, and to love others. While we do not and should not agree with matters that go against God's word, that doesn't mean that we should stop showing love. It's when we show love to others in a season of indifference that they can see what being a Christian and a follower of Jesus is really supposed to be like. We shouldn't be an example of hate or judgment, driving those we are different from even further away from God, but rather the ones who draw others to Him. We're called to be disciples, to lead others to Him through our actions and our words.
Within our walks, we all have our own convictions. They could be drugs or alcohol, infidelity or lying, hate or anger, pride or jealousy, and the list goes on. We undeservingly seek for God to extend His grace onto us when we stand before Him one day. So why shouldn't we be eager and ready to share that same undeserving grace with those around us? So let us all strive to be more tolerant and accepting of others. Let us open our hearts and minds to new ideas and perspectives while ensuring we are seeking and following God.
In doing so, we can change at least our small part of the world for the betterment of His kingdom. That's Romans 14, and we'll see you guys next week.